Come back. And thank you again, Robert. Kind of you. A lesson about hers. I miss my computer. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Many young people, actually many of my friends, and we're not young, say awesome. It's okay. It's just used too much. Awesome job, Chop. Pardon me?
Exaggerate.
Say it again.
Exaggerate.
Exactly?
Exaggerate.
Exaggerate. Exaggerate.
Would you spell it for me? Extremely?
Overwhelming. Exaggerate.
Exaggerate? Exaggerate. Exaggerate. So if I didn't really think it were awesome, if it were just okay, I might say awesome, and that would be an exaggeration. My daughter is the best at exaggerating. If I fix her a meal, Mom, this is the best meal I've ever had. She always exaggerates. Okay, now you better take a break. I'm going to try to fix the computer in the meantime. So I'm pretending that you're breaking.
What is a zipper span?
What word? Exaggerate.
Do you want to exaggerate?
No, I just asked about zipper span.
Oh, yeah.
B-R.
Zipper. E-R. No S. S. E-R-S.
This is an R.
Sorry.
Well, I didn't do it very well. So don't you want a drink?
Teacher studies mean the man with many girls. It's a slang word. It's a slang word.
Yes. And I'm not real comfortable in teaching that word. It's not like, what do I want to say? It's not a curse word. You know what? Curse words are really words I wouldn't want to teach.
It's really good that you know slang sometimes.
Good, good. So it's just a slang word that a young person might say. I would never say this to someone I looked up to. I would never say this in a formal setting. Okay, now computer. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, thank you so much. I needed that and I appreciate it. Thank you. This kind of acts like a mirror. Not so good today. Okay, and I know that's a problem. I'm going to change it. I'm pretty sure it's two. I'll double check. Because am I wrong? One F? Oh, just one F. Double G?
No, double G.
Double G à? Double G. Lo. X ออกไปเติม G. Double G.
I don't think so. Wait a minute. I'm going to double check. That doesn't, I make many mistakes. Hang on just a second. So I think it's
Đúng mắt stand là
oh, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You're right. This is the way you spell exaggerate. Pardon me. Yes, two G's. Exaggerate means Overstating, yes. This is the best I've ever had. Today is the most beautiful day in the world. It's exaggerating. It's not necessarily bad. You're just overdoing it. It's not really that great. But I'm trying to get this to work. I may try to get the other monk. So give me, I'll be right back. This is making it help.
ไม่จดไม่ได้ไม่เป็นไรไม่เป็นไร
Sure, it is a uniform.
yes
So half sleeve.
short sleeve but the color is khaki color
Please, I need one.
because I have many suit because the worker at Venice don't want it but it clean but if you want to use it again wash again
Do you know more about these? Is there, and I'm okay. I don't need to have it. Is there someone in here though who knows exactly what's going wrong? If there's not, then I'll just forget about it.
your name
We can do it without it.
Javed
Hi. And the other monk is
Your
busy
sister.
taking a class, so I don't
where
know.
your sister her sister
So there are a couple of people who came in, and I need to make an announcement. And if you don't understand clearly, please let me know.
ขอให้ดูหน่อยไม่ทันไหนต้องไหนเช้าเมื่อไหร่
Next, Nina and
ให้ฟังเขา
not Renata. Is it
ได้
Renata?
แล้วเขียนได้ฟัง
I don't see your name tag. Renata? No. Tell me your name again. Natia, not Renata. And I think, oh yes, and you came in too, Sue. So here's the deal. Next class, we're going to split up. There were 2 guests yesterday who are here from the United States. Ilona and Patrick. Good name, Patrick. They are going to take, one of them will take John's class. Another one will take part of this class. And you get to decide if you want to go to that class or not. Some of you have heard this. Thank you for your patience. That class will be a little bit more simple. It will go a little more slowly. It will be for people who haven't had as much experience with English as other people. So it's not going to be like this class back there. It will be more, just a little bit more slowly than this class. And you will get to decide which class to go to. But you would go there every day. It's not like, oh, today I'm coming here and tomorrow I'm going there. No, that will be the class you choose to go to. Okay. And it looks like that will start tomorrow. They may come today, but it seems like we wouldn't have time today. So you can think about it. I think you 3 are the only 3 who, no, you weren't here, were you, Lee, when I said this earlier. So does anyone here have any questions about that? Please feel free to ask a question too. And again, they are native speakers, and they seem like wonderful people. I've spent some time with them, and they just seem delightful. So, okay with that? Any questions?
It's to study this class
Pardon me?
I will study in this
Okay,
class.
so whatever you think is better for you, because if we want it to be the right thing for you. Okay, great. Yesterday, I think I told you that they were going to teach at Watch Prague. And, well, you were telling me. But that was my understanding yesterday. But now they've changed their mind and they choose to teach here too. Probably after meeting you lovely people, they fell in love with you. And I told them, these are the best students. They're just so kind and gracious and wonderful. I also told them that I think I made a mistake with the book. That I think maybe a third of you love the book. Excuse me.
One third.
I think maybe about a third of the class really likes the book and understands it. I think most of you in here, when I read the book or we read the book together, are not understanding it. And I'm so glad someone brought that to my attention too. So anyway, I told them maybe you don't want to read a book with them, or maybe a simpler book too. Do you notice fractions? Fractions.
Yes.
So 1/3 would be this many, 1/3 of the class. Yeah, okay. A new idiom, a new idiom. Let me do this again. Ma'am, have you heard this one?
Yes, it's expensive.
Yes. If you say it costs an arm and a leg, an arm and a leg, that means it costs a lot of money.
The cost considered, you must write as very expensive.
Pardon me?
Cost. It's cost.
You're right, you're right. We had this discussion the other day. It cost. No, if it were past tense, it cost.
Cost. Past.
Past tense, thank you. And I think that's it. I better check that out for sure, make sure I'm not teaching you the wrong thing. But if Robert tells me it cost an arm and a leg, that means when he bought it yesterday or 30 minutes ago, he would say it cost an arm and a leg.
Sure, but this practice also can be present tense.
You're right. So let's say I'm going to the store. I'm going
When I
shopping.
look at the back in the store and I tell my friend that this costs.
It costs.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well said. Okay.
Yes.
So this is in the past. When Robert bought it. If I'm shopping now, I would say it costs an arm and a leg. I hope it didn't. I mean, it's beautiful, but you know what I'm saying. So in Thailand, what costs an arm and a leg? What is very expensive? Sue, can you tell me something that's incredibly expensive in Thailand?
Nhìn tiếng
A thing, yes, please. A diamond, yes. I don't have any diamonds. It would be bling, bling. It would be dazzling. My or the diamond. I'm going to use past tense now, okay? And we need to go over tense a little more, I think, but thank you. The diamond cost an arm and a leg. The BMW. Do you have BMW cars?
Yes.
They're quite expensive in the United States. Cost an arm and a leg. What else would cost an arm and a leg?
Train.
Pardon me?
Train. Aeroplane.
Aeroplane. And we would say an airplane. Airplane or a plane. An airplane. An airplane, because this is a vowel. An airplane cost an arm and a leg. Do you know these ditto marks? Ditto marks mean the same thing as what's up. I love ditto marks.
Teacher không vì nào who they care who they say Starbucks coffee cost an arm and a leg.
Yes, you know, you can say that. Even though Starbucks coffee doesn't cost as much as an airplane, compared Starbucks coffee compared to my coffee at home costs an arm and a leg. Yes, you just mean it's very expensive. So if I go get pizza here, and it seems like, whoa, this is more expensive than any other place, it costs an arm and a leg. So it doesn't have to mean $1 million. It just means very expensive comparatively.
So visual habit also depends on the person who are talking about that one. Because some may think that it's expensive, some may.
We would probably all agree that an airplane, but I agree with Chop. I think that Starbucks coffee costs an arm and a leg. My daughter thinks you just go to Starbucks and get your coffee. You know, that's her lifestyle. Just like my mother and I, my mother would never buy bread. She would make her own bread. And actually I do that too. But my mother would just, you know, when I grew up, we would go out to eat once a year. Because my mother thought eating out cost an arm and a leg.
Good cooking.
Pardon me?
She can cook really well.
Yes, she could. Oh my goodness. Yes, and there were always pies and cakes. Plus, we didn't have tons of money. We weren't poor, but we didn't have extra money. And my parents gave a lot of money away to people who needed it too. They were very generous people. So, an arm and a leg. Okay, here's what I think we're going to do. Oh, I can't do this. I can't project it. Hang on just a second. I wanted to introduce some new vocabulary. Oh, and I even have pictures on here. Oh, well. I can deal with it. Oh, well. In our next chapter,
ทำไม
ให้ทำเองนะคะ
เสียบสายผิด
our next chapter, there are some words that I wanted to introduce to you because I'm hearing from some of you that you'd like some new vocabulary. You'd like to hear the vocabulary. Tracks. We talked about that.
track
So,
ปีนเป็นต้องปีนเป็นเสียง
like feet
เปลี่ยนสาย
อ๋อแล้วนี่เลยไม่ติดอ่ะ
ไม่ติด
or tire tracks. These would be foot tracks or footprints. But the word is tracks. Tracks. So on the ground, tracks.
On the sand.
On the sand, in the snow. Oops. Any guesses about what this means? Trackers.
It's a follower
Yes, the follower of the tracks. People who look for and follow them. Trackers. Now in our book, they're looking for people. Remind me, is in your culture, do you hunt? Do people look for animals and then shoot them or use a bow and arrow? I hear yes and no.
yes
Okay, some people. So like where I live, a lot of people look for, they go out in the country, in the mountains, and they look for animal tracks, and then they take a gun, or they take a bow and arrow and shoot them. So they're also trackers.
helpless
So you're without help.
no help
There's no help. Now, here's the word you will see. Helplessness. It's now. It's the time of no help. And then that's the other word. Someone's reading my mind. Let me do helpless. Time of no help. And then hopelessness. If something is hopeless, you think it's not going to work. It's hopeless. Hopeless. But hopelessness is a time of no hope. So when my father had a critical, terrible disease, his health was hopeless. He couldn't get better. And it was a time in our family of hopelessness. We knew he would die. There was no hope for him to get better. Could you use, I'd love to hear some sentences. Sue, do you feel like you could use one of these words in a sentence? Could you use one of these words in a sentence, please? Would you like someone else to do it? Okay, someone else. Or do you want to try? Do you want to try?
Time and film is the thing.
Pardon me?
Let's take a few minutes things to do.
Do you feel it's...
She wants to try to do the sentence.
Oh, please do.
Yes.
Thank you. And everyone else could be thinking of one too. Go ahead, Sue. They do. Who would be someone, Sue? You said some people have hopelessness. Who would be someone who would have hopelessness? Who?
Patient.
Hang on just a second. What might be true of the friend? What would be wrong with the friend that would cause her hopelessness? Pardon me? She's working?
Yes.
So why is she hopeless? No work. Oh, and if it's truly she has absolutely no work out there, then it would be hopeless. And she would be experiencing hopelessness. Nina, what did you say?
The hopelessness patient in ICU.
In ICU. So you would actually say the hopeless patient. The hopeless patient
Hopeless
in
patient.
ICU. That means they probably won't be getting better sometimes. They would experience hopelessness. Toy, pick a word, make a sentence. Any word.
Toy.
Just a second, let's give her a chance to think. And everybody else could be thinking too.
Hopeless.
จะหายไป
Anythingness ไม่เป็นธรรมดา Hopeless เนี่ย
I'm gonna be
After my father separate
ต้องรู้
cancer,
แต่ละคำ
Oh.
คำว่า hope
Yes.
hope แปลว่าหวัง
If when your father had cancer,
hopeless ไม่มีความห
after
วัง
he
เป็นคำนาม
operate,
hopeless แปลว่าไม่มีความหวังและแต่ทำหน้าที่สัตว์
1 year and a half,
เป็นมนุษย์ก็อย่างเป็น
I
อย่างจะคิดอย่าง
hopeless.
okay, thank you. You experienced hopelessness.
Teacher, may I make a sentence about helplessness?
Please make a sentence about helplessness. Chop.
Teacher, there is no helplessness because the pride is very strong.
Because what is very strong?
The pride. The pride.
The
Pride.
Pardon me? Mark? Oh, do I have marks on me?
yes climbing
You have to use the tissue.
The marker. Oh no! Thank you. The marker is it red?
the ink
No. Thank you for telling me, Robert. I'll try to find a tissue. How silly. Thank you. Oh, the butler did it. No, wait a minute. I'm giving you the wrong books. I should be giving you the pearl. Pardon me. Chop, I'm coming back to you.
sentence where
It's
we
wrong.
have learned
It's
it
wrong.
already
Yes. Excuse me. I need to get a tissue. Thank you. Bringing too many other books. So is that red? I've got it. Is the red marker all over my face?
That is called your hand, okay? Okay, it's small.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You need books, just a second. Thank you, Robert. I'm getting the wrong books here. Uh-oh.
เขาบอกเปิดซีซี
จะจบ
Oh,
ไม่
thank you so much, Amir.
จบไม่ได้
อานุบาล
Oh, yeah. Oh, mercy. I think I got it. Thank you very much. How embarrassing. You know, but I appreciate my students for telling me.
หน้าเลยครับ40แล้วครับ
Here's another one. I'm going to get some more books. Sean, hang on to your idea. I need some more books. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Kind of.